Hey, this episode of Hard Pass was brought to you by The Container Store. Yo, welcome to Hard Pass. I am your host, Jacques Slade. It's the show that hopes you have somebody in your life who will share the joy of increasingly rare wins you get on the Sneakers app, the same way that Trae Young and Luke Doncic enjoy half-court shots. Man, if these two become bitter rivals competing for championships, they're gonna play that clip for the rest of our lives. All right. Let's start with some spicy pea level takes. Not sure exactly how I feel about somebody flipping our beloved Swaggy Peas nickname, but Pascal Siakam is an All-Star and an NBA champion, so I guess I can't really complain, can I? Shout out to Quavo for channeling his inner Ron Artest / Meta World Peace when he rocked 3 different pairs of sneakers during the celebrity game on Friday night. He wore custom pairs of the Kyrie 6, LeBron 7, and Kobe AD, switching out whenever he felt on the bench, and he even warmed up in the new Yeezy basketball shoe. But more on that later. Artest famously wore multiple mismatching pairs of sneakers during the 2004 All-Star game in hopes of signing a sneaker deal, including a pair of the infamous Dada spinners. Kids these days just don't know. The only spinners they know about are those toys that were cool for a minute a few years ago. Okay, I better move on before I become some sort of weird spinner truther or something. Zion Williamson had fun during the Rising Stars Challenge, catching lobs from fellow rookie Ja Morant and blowing a few highlights, but apparently he dunked the ball so hard that the rim actually bent. That's pretty hard, Zion, but now I'm going to play the role of the actually guy on NBA Twitter. Shaq dunked the ball so hard that he brought the rim with him, so what Zion did isn't really that impressive. Also, I'm an insecure old geezer who thinks everything cool that happens is a threat to my childhood, so take that last comment with a grain of salt, really? Because All-Star is in Chicago, it only makes sense that former President Barack Obama was in the city attending an NBA Cares event and greeted Zion and Trae Young and recreating that classic Key and Peele sketch to perfection. We already knew the president's dap game was on point, but I just want to know what happens when he gets to somebody like, say, Raptors coach Nick Nurse.
Coach, how you been? Awesome. Congratulations. You have been awesome. You are doing a great job. Really proud of you.
What am I supposed to do with that? There's no joke there. That was just nice and wholesome. This video is brought to you by The Container Store, who sells the drop front boxes that you see right behind me. Now, they gave me some stuff to read to you, like that they're UV resistant, they're anti-static, easily stackable. You can see that. Cover is clear, and that if you want a pair of shoes, you just open it up and take them out. It's a lot easier than have them inside your box. You don't want this to be your life. If I want these, nah. Jacques Slade, 20% off of drop front boxes over at Container Store. Let's get back to the video. Back to the jokes. And a sign that 2020 is really the weirdest timeline. Remember when people were actually suing Fortnite for stealing their dances and putting them in the game? Well, what if I told you Fortnite is not only paying to put famous dances in the game, but the songs attached to them? That's right, Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up is now in Fortnite. It actually plays the song in the game while you do the emote. I wonder if I can get a Cousteau dancing in the game. We don't talk much about baseball here on Hard Pass, but Cody Bellinger of the real 2017 World Series champs Los Angeles Dodgers just became my new favorite player when he dropped this gem when asked about the Houston Astros cheating them out of a title.
I mean, these guys were cheating for 3 years. I think what people don't realize is Altuve stole an MVP from Judge in 17. Everyone knows they stole the ring from us.
Yeah, you people can knock him all you want for being too soft and too Hollywood, but as this KTLA graphic proves, we can do pretty damn good. So Chicago will always hold a special place in the hearts and minds of sneakerheads everywhere. It's where Michael Jordan took flight and elevated Nike to new heights. Frank Thomas, one of the greatest baseball players of all time and a significant athlete for Reebok during the 90s, played for the Chicago White Sox for a huge portion of his career. And of course, there's Kanye West, Virgil Abloh, Don C, and the rest of the crew who have forever changed the perception of sneakers as a lifestyle choice and as a business opportunity. So it was only natural that when the NBA All-Star Weekend came back to Chicago for the first time since 1988, it would become not only a celebration of the game of basketball, but a celebration of sneaker culture. Despite the freezing cold temperatures, well, anything below 50 degrees is actually cold for this California dude, but if we're being honest, the rollout of sneakers was going to be hot. For the first time ever, Kanye launched a Yeezy basketball shoe, and he did so with the help of some Russian-designed Sherp ATVs running around the city. There's even video of people actually trading away their Nike Air Fear of God so they can get a pair of these new Yeezys. I'm not going to judge anybody who's willing to do what it takes to secure a pair, especially if they're just going to wear it and hoop in it, but I will judge you if you're willing to expose your feet and socks to the world in that weather. No those sneakers are worth losing my toes to frostbite, which I will remind you are made for the California sun. Sure, Quavo wore these during warm-ups of the celebrity game, but I just hope an Adidas athlete like Trae Young or Kyle Lowry actually wore these during the All-Star game, since we're actually recording this episode before it tips off. Other kicks that dropped exclusively in Chicago for All-Star Weekend include the aforementioned Fear of God 1s and the Allen Iverson-inspired colorway, the Air Jordan 3 Unite with the Nike Shy alternate back tab, and a handful of other early releases. If you were not in Chicago the past few days, you probably have a severe case of sneaker FOMO. It's not something I would worry about because, again, the weather. But because it's something we have come to expect as a part of what makes each All-Star Weekend special, it's a treat for those cities, and you just hope at some time in the near future, the show is actually closer to your town. But one pair, or I should say one pack that has some sneakerheads feeling left out is the New Beginnings pack featuring the Air Jordan 1 and the Nike Air Ship, aka the real banned sneaker. According to most reports, the New Beginning pack was going to launch not only in Chicago, but also on the Sneakers app. But as we got closer to the rumored release date, every other pair that we expected would be available for All-Star got a page and a notify me automatic L alert on the app. But nowhere to be found was the New Beginnings pack. And then we finally got confirmation earlier this week via a tweet from Nike that the pack would not be available on sneakers or on Nike.com. It was disheartening to say the least because the buzz for the New Beginnings pack had been building since late last year, and as a result, there are a lot of sour feelings being let out over on sneaker Twitter. And I have to say, they're right to be upset. Nike made the mistake of not making it clear that the New Beginnings pack was only going to drop in Chicago weeks in advance. We always knew the Air Jordan 3 Unite with the Nike Shy tab was going to be a Chicago exclusive. We had an idea Kanye was going to do something extraordinary with his Yeezys for his hometown, but we didn't know Nike was going to let us down in regards to the New Beginnings pack. What makes this different from the other exclusive releases is the history behind the shoe and what the Air Ship means to Michael Jordan's story. It was the first chance many Jordan fans were going to get to own the Air Ships, and with one tweet, it was taken away from them unless they were in Chicago. Not that Nike should be obligated to make thousands of packs to release to fans, but they should have done a better job with messaging, or maybe they should make thousands of packs now as a make good. Who knows? The one thing that I do know is that this is a new beginning for the relationship Nike and Jordan brand has with their fans, and I don't think that's a good thing. All right, let's get on to the heat check where we preview the week's upcoming releases. It's what you would call, I would say, a cool down after the bevy of All-Star drops, but hopefully you still have some cash to spare after you spent it trying to buy bots to secure your pair of Off-White 5s, not realizing Virgil has the way better and way more exclusive Off-Whites. First up, we have the Fragment Design times Montclair times Converse Chuck 70s Low. These drop on February 19th. You probably know Fragment from their Air Jordan collabs that don't always see the light of retail, but they've been doing some cool subtle work with Converse through the years, and their latest is a team up with luxury brand Montclair that gives the Chuck a really classy look. Next up, we have the LeBron 17 James Gang. These are on the 21st for $200. Basically, LeBron's family takes the spotlight with the Fruity Pebbles-esque colorway that also, for some reason, has an insole graphic that resembles the classic Friday the 13th font. I guess the family really likes horror movies or something, and, you know, remind me not to enter when LeBron texts for an invite at movie night. Next up, we have the Adidas Yeezy 350 V2 Earth. These drop on the 22nd for $220. There's a handful of Yeezys actually dropping on the 22nd, but the Earth colorway will be the one that's exclusive to the Americas. Man, remember when I was actually praising Kanye for going multicolor with the 350s like a few weeks ago? God, feels like years now. And my pick of the week is the Mickey Mouse times Adidas Stan Smith 3D. These drop on the 20th for $120. The Iconic Mouse teams up with another iconic brand. This is actually part of a larger pack of Mickey Mouse tribute, but this 3D pair is the standout pair because of like the whole old school graphics on the upper that require you to actually have the red and blue glasses to make it pop. Hopefully Adidas actually does the right thing and includes the glasses with the shoes. Come on, Adidas, make this right. Let's move on to Hard Pass, where we take a look at something in the culture that just needs to go. Like Quentin Richardson just doing Spice Adams like this. Come on, Q. It's the celebrity game. You ain't got to take it so serious, man. Anyways, as I mentioned before, NBA All-Star Weekend is like sneaker heaven. It's the place where all the brands show up and show off. Even as I say that, if I were to look back at all the All-Star events in cities that I've been fortunate to attend, none of the on-court stuff that I've seen has been able to match Nike's Galaxy offering. I touched on it during last week's show when I told you the story about my All-Star Saturday night adventure back in 2012, and as I thought about it more and more, I don't think Nike, Jordan Brand, Adidas, Reebok, Puma, New Balance, whoever, have been able to replicate the magic of that pack. Anything memorable to me that has launched during All-Star Weekend for the past few years has been Jordan retros like the Black Cement 3s or Kanye West debuting the Yeezy 750s. So my hard pass goes to all the sneaker brands out there as I challenge them to do better. I know this sounds a little bit like LeBron walking off with his fancy handbag and telling a reporter to be better tomorrow, but sorry, that's the reality. Since 2012, no sneaker brand has been able to capture the imagination of the Galaxy release. In 2013, we had another out of this world theme since the All-Star game was in Houston, but the LeBron 10 Area 72 pales in comparison to the LeBron 9 Big Bang. In 2014, New Orleans brought out the color in Adidas, but I can't even tell you what their kicks were supposed to represent, unlike the bright orange signature kicks Derrick Rose rocked as a starter in Orlando. And as you can go on down the line, it becomes a case of diminishing returns to the point where I was wondering if I was just being overly critical. But no, it just feels like all of the brands decided the focus should be more on the lifestyle stuff, especially in 2015. I mean, take a look at the sneakers that were officially designated as All-Star sneakers for the 2018 game in Los Angeles, a city that thinks 60-degree weather is an excuse to break out the puffy coats, which, by the way, I'm all for. You've probably already forgotten what the Kyrie 4 All-Star looks like, but I bet someone watching this has a story of how they copped the Nike Cortez Kinnys at the Makers Lab. There's a pink LeBron 15 that I guess is his All-Star shoe, but I care more about his King's Cloak collab with Ronnie Fee. I couldn't tell you what the Adidas Harden Volume 2 All-Star looks like, but I certainly have memories of the huge downtown LA warehouse that the Three Stripes rented out for the weekend, where it felt less like a sneaker launch and more like Coachella adjacent, with performances by Childish Gambino and Kanye himself. And as much as I love this year's Monstar LeBron 17 that previews what's to come in Space Jam 2, the talk from Chicago will be about the off-white Air Jordan 5s and the boondoggle of the Nike Beginnings pack. I appreciate Don C's love for his home city, but I can buy a pair of his KD12s collab now or a month from now when it's on sale. At least Kanye's Yeezy basketball shoe will spark some attention, but I doubt we're going to see it on the court all that much after All-Star. It's just going to be on the gram, using every filter and lighting effect on Photoshop possible. My favorites are when Yeezys just show up on posts that don't even have anything to do with sneakers. Like, I follow this one account about symmetrical photography, and on one of the pictures it has a dog and a pair of Yeezys. And I'm up here like, I can't get away from Yeezys, and also the dog is the real flex in that pic. I don't expect brands to sacrifice performance for aesthetics. The push to move technology forward and the pressure to create something new every year for a signature athlete is a delicate balance, and I understand how it looks off the court is probably on the bottom of the list of priorities. And in no way am I saying that Tinker Hatfield spent more time than the next person prioritizing how his Air Jordan designs would translate on the fashion side. I just hope that there's a little more attention paid to making our sneakers a little more versatile, instead of forcing us to go the Kanye route where we pay for the same shoe twice. And nobody wants to go the Kanye route. Okay, I know a few people who will go the Kanye route, through the snow even. Anyway, that's my hard pass. Let me know your thoughts. When was the last time All-Star sneakers impressed you? That's gonna do it for the show. Thank you guys for watching. I am Jacques Slade. I will see you again next week, but not before I show you this clip of Dwight Howard practicing Superman dunks with Shaquille O'Neal. I'll see you guys next week. Sorry, I had to do it. Peace.